Welcome back to NightStoryHQ, where shadows whisper, legends breathe, and the unknown is just the beginning. Tonight, we dive deep, deeper than the ocean floor, into a tale that has haunted mariners for centuries. A creature so immense, so terrifying, that its very name echoes through the darkest depths of myth and reality alike. This is the story of the Kraken. In the frigid waters of the North Atlantic, off the coasts of Norway, Greenland, and Iceland, sailors spoke of a monster, a beast with arms like writhing serpents, eyes like glowing lanterns beneath the sea, and a hunger vast enough to devour entire ships. They called it Kraken, a word that, in Old Norse, loosely translates to twisted or unhealthy animal. But this was no ordinary sea creature. This was a leviathan the size of an island. Sailors told stories of approaching what they believed was land, only to find that the island stirred and sank beneath the waves. Its eyes opened, its tentacles rose, and within moments, the sea boiled with chaos. One of the earliest mentions of the Kraken appears in the 13th century Icelandic saga, Urvar Odr. There, the creature is described alongside the Hafgufa, another monstrous sea entity that could reportedly swallow whales and entire ships in a single gulp. Some scholars even believe the Kraken and Hafgufa are one and the same. The 18th century Danish historian and bishop Erik Pontoppidan further immortalized the beast in his book, The Natural History of Norway. He described it as a floating island that would pull ships under the sea by creating a massive whirlpool as it descended into the ocean's depths. Pontoppidan even estimated its size as being 1.5 miles wide. Let that sink in. 1.5 miles. To the men of the sea, the Kraken wasn't a myth. It was a living nightmare. Eyewitness accounts and sailor legends. For centuries, mariners' tales have painted vivid portraits of terrifying encounters. One such account comes from a French merchant ship in the late 1600s, which reportedly encountered a massive creature with eyes the size of dinner plates and arms longer than their vessel. The crew watched in frozen horror as the beast rose from the depths, then sank just as suddenly, leaving behind turbulent waves and suction so powerful that it dragged a smaller escort ship beneath the surface. Another comes from 18th century Norwegian fishermen, who swore they saw the Kraken surface near their boats. They described it as having countless arms that undulated like ropes through the sea. They abandoned their nets and rowed furiously back to shore, leaving behind an entire day's catch, convinced that surviving was worth more than gold. And then, there's the account of the Royal Navy ship HMS Daedalus in 1848. While the crew officially reported a giant sea serpent off the coast of West Africa, some believe what they saw may have been a massive squid, perhaps even the real inspiration behind Kraken legends. The creature, they said, held itself vertically in the water, with what appeared to be tentacles trailing below. Though the term Kraken wasn't used in this case, its similarities to the myth can't be ignored. Maritime legends often grow with the retelling. But when so many different men, across nations and centuries, all describe the same thing, we begin to ask, was there something real behind the myth? The science behind the myth, the giant squid. For much of human history, the existence of colossal sea creatures was dismissed by mainstream science. That changed in 1857, when Danish naturalist Japheth Steenstrup examined a mysterious beak recovered from a stranded whale. His conclusion? It belonged to a previously undocumented species, a squid of enormous size. He named it Architeuthis dux, the giant squid. It was the first scientific acknowledgement that creatures matching the Kraken's description might actually exist. The giant squid can grow up to 40-50 feet in length, longer than a school bus, and possesses tentacles lined with suckers armed with serrated rings. Their massive eyes, among the largest in the animal kingdom, allow them to detect even the faintest light in the deep sea. While rarely seen alive, Dead specimens have washed ashore in Norway, Newfoundland, New Zealand, and Japan. In 2004, Japanese researchers captured the first images of a live giant squid in its natural habitat. In 2012, an even more dramatic milestone was achieved. Video footage of the creature in the deep sea, its alien body glowing gold in the camera lights, arms slowly twisting through black water. Even more terrifying is the colossal squid, Mesonychoteuthis hamiltoni, found in Antarctic waters. Though shorter in length than the giant squid, it is far more massive and aggressive, armed with swiveling hooks on its tentacles. Could early sailors have encountered these beasts? Imagine standing on a wooden ship, looking over the railing into inky waters, and seeing a massive eye staring back. It would take very little imagination for terror to transform into myth. The Kraken in popular culture. Over time, the Kraken has become more than just a terrifying tale. It has become a symbol, a totem of the ocean's untamed power. A reminder that, even in our age of GPS and sonar, the deep sea holds secrets we've yet to uncover. The Kraken has roared into popular culture with full force. From Alfred Tennyson's 1830 poem, The Kraken, which paints it as a slumbering force destined to rise in the end times, to modern blockbusters like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, where it serves as Davy Jones's monstrous enforcer. In Clash of the Titans, the phrase, "Release the Kraken," became a viral meme, echoing both humor and awe. Video games like Assassin's Creed and Sea of Thieves, as well as fantasy franchises like Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, regularly feature Kraken-inspired creatures. Why does it captivate us so? Perhaps it's because the ocean remains one of the last truly unexplored frontiers, and in that darkness, the Kraken reigns supreme, half beast, half myth, all fear. The Kraken is more than a monster. It's a metaphor. To the sailors of old, the Kraken represented the unknown, the terror of a voyage into waters that could swallow you whole. It embodied the fear of helplessness in the face of nature's wrath. In a world without radar or rescue helicopters, a creature like the Kraken was not only believable, it was expected. In modern times, the Kraken persists because it still speaks to something primal. We may not fear the ocean in the same way, but we continue to fear what lies beyond comprehension. Whether it's outer space, deep sea, or the uncharted recesses of the human mind, there's always a Kraken waiting. And then there's the question we dare not ask aloud. What if it's still out there? The ocean is vast. More than 80% of it remains unmapped and unexplored. Could something of the Kraken's magnitude hide in those cold, crushing depths? Could the legends be distorted echoes of real creatures, like the giant or colossal squid? Or could they be something more? If even one sailor's tale was true, the Kraken might still sleep beneath the waves, waiting. Thank you for venturing into the abyss with us tonight. The Kraken is a legend born from saltwater, shadow, and fear, but perhaps also truth. Whether it slumbers in myth or reality, it reminds us that the sea is not ours. It never was. If you enjoyed this deep dive into nautical nightmares, be sure to subscribe to NightStoryHQ for more tales of the eerie, the ancient, and the unknown. Leave a comment. What do you believe? Is the Kraken just an overgrown squid or something far more sinister? Until next time, stay curious and beware the deep, because some legends have teeth.